We are about know your shield and show your letters. Your resources will not follow. Your mind is led out to service force. Resistance to this new trial.
Hello guys, and welcome to the second part of this presentation of the Clam presents the Botany Bay Part 2. So I thought I would show you guys a little bit more in detail about the Botany Bay. At the moment I've recalled mine and have it back in my station because I have unlocked Whelkclam. Now Whelkclam is the specialist miner that has been added for this content, and he is the guy who will give you the bonuses when you're mining your data. And what's more, you don't actually need him to be on the Botany Bay because you can mine with a different ship. I'll come to that a little bit later. You can see there guys that the accuracy, the shield and armor piercing 262 is not anything to write home about at all. But the cargo capacity, 26k, that's much better than a North Star, and protected cargo, that's rubbish. But then again, so is the North Star. So on the whole, this is only the basic tier, nothing to write home about yet. So we're going to have a look at upgrading this and see what happens. As of yesterday, I was lacking the relevant plutonium. As you can see, the impulse engine and the warp engines both require this common plutonium. Some people have asked how you can get this resource. It's easy guys, you just mine the data and then go to the faction store and click the relevant screen. So I'm going to go ahead and add these upgrades and tier up the Botany Bay, so we can get a look at a tier 2 Botany Bay. I just wanted to quickly say as well guys, I have been told that since I filmed this last night, that an event has started inside the Whelkclam faction involving hostiles and whatnot, and therefore it's only available to those who have a Botany Bay at the moment. So that means it's only available for those who have paid for that content, and I'll come to that a little bit later. We're going to tier up this ship now. We can see there that the protected cargo has jumped 150%. That's nice. And the cargo capacity has doubled from 26k to 62. This is great to see guys. So tiering up just once. I'll have a look at the rest of the stats in a minute. We're just going to throw on some new parts. I assume those blue crosses are blue because I don't have any plutonium. So we are looking at 12k titanium, not at the world. 2-star parts again. Somebody in my clan, big shout out to them. Clumsy Clam, Grumpy Clam, Spicy Clam. A number of others were asking what parts does this ship take. I can tell you guys, tier 1 and 2 is 2-star parts only. So for those who did buy the pack and got a load of 2-star materials that we all complain about after level 20, we do not need, well, this ship takes them. So it's requiring 40 plutonium for that. There you go. Shields, again, all 2-star. So nothing to worry about here guys. After upgrading, that cargo capacity has gone to 74k. Mining bonus is 275%. Impulse engines, again, don't require plutonium this time. So the things that require plutonium is a mining laser for tier 2. These are the tier 3 parts that you add on at tier 2. So we require plutonium for that and plutonium for the warp engines. So we can kick out this ship and we're going to go and have a look at the mining rates, because I'm also hearing feedback from some guy in Whelkclam space that if you have say, a tier 7 envoy, which I do, it actually mines faster than the tier 1 Botany Bay and probably the tier 2 Botany Bay. So we're going to have a look at now at the faction store. This is where you get your augment recruits, your blueprint, your reputation. It's where you spend your data, as you can see there, 170 augment credits for 1000 data. So we're going to take those credits and we're going to buy some plutonium and some shards. If you buy your shards, I believe they are only like a one-time deal. So there's Otto, reasonable enough kind of entry-level officer if you don't have Nui and Khan. There's Kathy or Katie. And the rest of them you need a better rating for. 6 Botany Bay blueprints. It says I need operatives. I have been watching Amagin Gaming, shout out to him, his videos are awesome, and he notices that this label changes all the time. I can confirm, at least on Android, it does the same thing, because there it's saying ally when before it was saying operative. So I agree, Scopely need to get the finger out and fix these bugs, but I am really enjoying the new content. The only reason I bought the Botany Bay was so I could show it off to any of our viewers, because previously to this we have only done fun Pirates on the Rampage style videos, because that's what our organisation is all about. We just like to pirate and have fun. But it's good to give back to the community as well. So again, big shout out to any of the guys that are watching. Leonardus, Lady Clamilton, Major Winters. You guys are the only reason we play this game, because I'm sure other clans are the same, other organisations are the same. It's the people what make this game. Not the fact that it's free to play or pay to play or whatever you want to call it. It's the people. And the only reason we come back is because we make good friends and we have fun together. So you can see there, you can only buy a small amount of plutonium. This is another way that Scopely has found to, even if you've bought content, even if you've spent some of your hard-earned money, it's still a grind, because I can only buy 35 plutonium and I've got to wait 16 hours to get the next lot. Which reminds me, since I filmed this video last night and I'm doing the voiceover this morning, I need to remind myself to go and collect the next blob of plutonium when it's available. So guys, you can see there that Botany Bay at tier 2 will mine 675 data per hour, and that is, at the moment I've got Ston on board. I haven't transferred Joachim over yet.
Also, just looking down the mission list, if you remember yesterday I found a mission that is requiring you to gather data. Well, there is another one
that requires you to gather plutonium,
and that one is entitled Botany Bay Part 2. So before you start mining, it's maybe an idea. I mean, 75 is not breaking the bank, is it? But it's an idea if you want to collect all these missions and complete them all at the same time. It's something a lot of guys like to do, so I thought I'd mention it.
Looking down this list at some of the other missions that I've picked up along the way, some of them give you officer shards, some of them require dark matter, and these all feed into the storyline that has been built for this additional content. We Are Better, there's another one, assisting Khan in the colonization. Some of these are old missions that I haven't completed yet, there are other videos out there that are following this storyline and doing all the missions in order. So if you want to actually watch the story unfold, I suggest you watch their videos. My idea was literally just to jump in and show off the new Botany Bay in all its glory as soon as it came out. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, guys, is something that came up when I logged into the game this morning. On the Alliance chat, as you can see here, there was a lot of discussion about a new event. So is this event only for Botany Bay owners? You need it to be able to get into the augment space, so that is definitely the case. A guy having problems with how many blueprints he has compared to the amount of boxes he's opened, so another bug for Scopely there. Pretty something of them to do an event before people can get into the area without paying for it. So there's a lot of griping in the community about guys feeling hard done by. Just a little look at the event. The Hunting the Hunters is the solo event. So in similar veins of other missions, it's hunting faction hostiles. In this case, the hostiles in the augment space. One piece of information I have learned in the interim since yesterday is the bounty hunters are the equivalent of the faction fighters that you might find in hostile faction space. So if you are an enemy of the Klingons, they will dispatch Klingon fighters to kill you. If you are favourable with the augment faction, then these bounty hunters will be dispatched to hunt down your miners, which I really like, because the big fat whales that think they can hold on to nodes will be automatically attacked whenever they try and mine. They may be 10, 20, 30 ships before they die, but they will eventually die. Just looking at the prizes for some of these events, I noticed there's a lot of augment credits and faction related items like the Khan token, which I can only assume we will be able to use in order to exchange for shards to unlock Khan Nooney and Singh. So guys, we can see there the Botany Bay with the miner Whelkclam on board is 945 per hour, and how that compares to my tier 7 envoy, I will just click on that now. I'll move the Botany Bay off the node, 945 per hour. Now we click on the envoy and we can see that the rate is 880 per hour. So if I put Whelkclam on board that T7 envoy, it will be better at mining than the Botany Bay. But this Botany Bay is only tier 2, whereas that is a fully maxed envoy. So at the moment, in the early days of this system being open, you will be better off mining in your envoy. But once you tier up to tier 3 of the Botany Bay, from then on, it's going to be different gravy. The mining rates will be so much better. And as you can see here, the envoy with Whelkclam on board is 1043 per hour. So it's not much more, but it's still more. So it remains to be seen what the tier 3 Botany Bay will give us. I assume it will be a lot better. We're just going to take a look at Whelkclam, because I know that I haven't done that yet. So there he is, in all his glory, 50% protected cargo. So his captain ability is that he increases the protected cargo of the ship. But normally, mining officers have as their captain ability the increase to the mining rate of the ship when mining a particular type of material. For example, T'Pring gives a bonus to the mining rate of the ship when she is the captain and mining gas, and Ston when mining ore, and Kabish when mining titanium. But Joaquin has that as an officer ability, so you could have him anywhere on the bridge, and there will be a 40% or more bonus to corrupted and decoded data. Given that he's one of Khan's crew and not an actual miner, this would probably make sense that you wouldn't necessarily have him as the captain of that crew. So here we can see that there's quite a lot of people in faction Ugman space, and they are all competing for the small number of marauders and hostiles that are around. The bounty hunters are as rare as unicorns at the moment. And I did find it quite interesting that they all seem to be competing in Rainford for these particular hostiles, when in Lydan and this one, there's basically nobody there. I know these hostiles are slightly higher level than in Rainford, but even still, come on guys, stop competing for resources when there doesn't need to be a competition. And on that note, I think I will sign out. It just remains to be said, thank you so much for giving me some material to work with, guys, especially the guys in the mighty Clam. You guys are absolutely clamtastic. You should give yourselves a pat on the back, because without you, this game would be so boring for me. It would be so boring for everybody who supposedly hates us. It would be so boring that nobody would want to play it at all. So just before I go, I want to say and show you this conversation that took place in my Alliance chat earlier today whilst I was preparing this video. And the gist of the conversation is that this event that is currently running is only available to anyone who has bought a pack, i.e. they have bought a Botany Bay, because anybody who hasn't bought that pack doesn't have a Botany Bay and therefore cannot access faction space. I do have to say at the outset that eventually, when these players gather up the blueprints, they will get 500 points in the event for building their Botany Bay that I have not been able to get because I built my Botany Bay before this event started. So I have my own little gripe. But I completely understand that a lot of the players, the fans of this game, who have stuck by it despite all the many bugs and problems and little frustrations that keep coming up, they've stuck by this game. It feels like a middle finger. I completely get that. But I do also want to say that there are people who have spent thousands on this game. That's up to them, that's their money. But we shouldn't gripe because we are free-to-play players on the whole. If somebody wants to reward their paying loyalty, don't forget guys, software isn't free, despite many wanting it to be. Developers are people like you and me. I'm a developer. I need to eat. I need to earn a wage. I need to feed my family. At the moment, every event that has taken place has been available whether you pay or are free. What is wrong with giving the paying players an event to reward their loyalty once in a while? I know this isn't a popular argument, but we've got to see both perspectives here. I completely agree with some of the arguments being made, especially with regards to not investing this money in fixing the bugs and not investing this money into coming up with better ideas. But there's nothing wrong with rewarding a paying customer at the expense of a little bit of time for the free players. It takes them a little while before they access the same content. And on that note guys, I hope you enjoy this little discussion that I'm showing here. But thank you so much Clumsy Clam and DJ Clam and Deanna for making the arguments that most of the people in the community will agree with. Like I said before, without you guys, this game falls on its arse. But without paying players, the game also falls on its arse. It's a fine line for Scopely to walk, and I don't think there's going to be anyone in complete agreement. It's a fine tightrope balancing act that they've got to walk, and most people will probably say they're not doing it very well. You can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time. That's just fact. But on this occasion, I think the frustrations are not completely warranted.